Hi everybody, it's Annie. Today I'm going to walk you through how to make paper flowers with the Cricut Maker. So what we're going to do is on the laptop here, I hope you can see that. So we're going to paint a mason jar on our canvas, and then we're going to roll flowers out of paper that's cut by the Cricut Maker and put them on the mason jar to make a bouquet. So we'll need our canvas, we'll need our Cricut Maker, we'll need some multicolored paper. So I found that the 65-pound paper is the best. Anything heavier is just a little bit too thick to roll. So you can either paint your mason jar on your canvas by hand, or you can take a stencil and trace around it. We'll also need what's called a quilling tool, and it's got a little slit in the side of it. So after we cut out our flowers with the Cricut Maker, we roll them with the quilling tool. So I've made a couple of little ones here, you can see. So this one was made out of the same paper, but it was made from a really small flower stencil. So the ones we're gonna do today, I believe, are 6 to 8 inches round. So they'll be more like this when they're cut, and then we're going to roll them. Okay, so I believe that's all we need. So let's get started. The next step will be to go to Cricut Design Space and log into your account. We'll click on New Project, and we'll go to our uploaded images and View All. So for this, I have a package that I've got with 9 flowers on it. So click Insert Image, and we're going to ungroup them, and then we'll just delete, cross out everything we don't need on the right side. So this is the one that we're going to print first, and I'm going to make it a 6x6 flower. So I've made this flower 6x6, so we just click on Make It, and I'm just going to pull it over just a little bit. We'll put our paper on our Cricut grid. Press Continue. And for this, I'm going to use glitter cardstock just because this mat's a little bit sticky. So we'll click on that and set our pressure to more. So now we're going to insert into the Cricut. And press, we're all ready to go. Okay, so it's all finished. Let's remove it from the Cricut Machine. And you can see the design is all cut out. So you have to be very careful taking it off of the grid mat. So just lift up a little bit at a time. And there's our flower. So just be very cautious when you're lifting this off of the grid mat because it's kind of sticky. And there we go. So the flower is all cut out, and I'll be showing you how to roll the flower in the next video. So while we're waiting for the rest of the flowers to be cut out with the Cricut, let's go over to Design Space, and we'll be cutting our mason jar out on vinyl. So we log into Design Space and we upload our mason jar design. And we're going to click on Insert Image and then Make It. We have our vinyl on our grip sheet. base material to vinyl. And we'll just press the button to get it to go into the Cricut. And then we'll press the go button, the Cricut button. Okay, so now the Cricut's cutting out our mason jar on the vinyl. And as you can see, it tells us how far the cutting job is done. And so let's just wait for that to finish, and then we will weed the vinyl. The next step is to weed our vinyl. So we're going to take the weeding tool and remove all the excess that we don't need that's going to go on the canvas. So sometimes this can be kind of a tedious procedure, but just keep working at it, and sometimes it just takes a little while. So now we've weeded the vinyl, so we're going to take the transfer tape, peel the backing off the transfer tape, and we're going to apply that to the vinyl. Make sure you smooth it down really well. Make it all a smooth surface. And you can use something to make sure that it smooths down. Just trim around the vinyl. Now we're going to remove the backing from the vinyl. So just remember to do that slowly. So now the vinyl is ready to be put onto the canvas. So place it down on the canvas very carefully. Smooth it down very well. Make sure all the edges are smooth and around the middle part. There's no air bubbles. And then you're going to remove the transfer tape from the top of the vinyl. So just make sure that it's not picking any of the vinyl that needs to stay down. So just do it very slowly, just pull it back. Perfect. So now our vinyl is ready to be painted on the canvas. So the next step is to start painting your vinyl. We've weeded all the areas, so we will be painting just the white outline here. I'm going to do mine pink, and we're going to use the sponge method. So that's just dipping the sponge in the paint and then dabbing it on all the white areas of the vinyl. So just do a couple of coats, let it dry in between, and then we'll peel off the vinyl when it's dry. So our paint has had a couple hours to dry, so it's all very dry. So we're going to remove the vinyl stencil from the canvas. So I'm just going to use a pair of tweezers for this, or you may be able to do it just with your hands if you pull slowly. So just continue until all the vinyl is off and you're just left with your outline. Okay, so I took the vinyl off the original canvas and then I realized that it had kind of seeped underneath. So there was one step that I forgot to let you know. So before you paint it, if you apply some Mod Podge, which is just a kind of a clear glue around the stencil before you paint it, and then let that dry and then paint it, then you won't get the seepage underneath. So I did redo a canvas, and I will now take that off. I've painted it. So let's lift that off, and hopefully there's a difference in how the paint looks on the canvas. I'm just going to pull that off and just kind of get underneath it with a pair of tweezers to pull it up. So I'm going to continue pulling this off, but already I'll just turn it around. You can see the lines on this one are a lot cleaner than the first one that had kind of all seeped underneath. So I'll just continue taking the rest of the vinyl off, and then I will start rolling the paper flowers. Okay, so now we're ready to roll our flowers. I did a Mod Podge here of different shapes of the Cricut flowers. They're all cut out, different colors, dark pink, light pink. So this step you'll either need a pair of tweezers, or you can use a quilling tool. It has a little slit in it, and that's what will attach to the edge of the flower to roll it. You can get them on Amazon for about $9 for a set of 6 or 7. So in the end, you can either glue with tacky glue, or I've got my glue gun already here to go just as it dries a little bit faster. So the technique does take some time to get used to. The quilling tool has a little slit in it, so you're going to just put the slit on the edge of the paper, and you're going to start rolling towards you. So you're always going to roll towards you, and just make sure that you're rolling along the line at the bottom so that it's staying even as you're rolling towards you. So the first few that you'll do will probably not look the best, like mine. You'll get a little faster. If you find it gets too bulky, sometimes you might just want to take the quilling tool out and just roll it with your fingers once you've got it established. So just keep rolling towards you, keeping it all tucked in. Kind of likes to get stuck up there a little bit. So I'm just going to pull that out and just roll with my fingers, because I can keep the bottom in line pretty well just by doing that. And just keep going till you get to the end. It'll work out for your fingers here. So as you approach the end, you're going to see a circular disc right at the end of the paper flower, and that's what we're going to apply the glue to. So I'm almost there now, just doing the final roll here. So just make sure that you're keeping it tight as you're rolling, especially when you get towards the end there. And this is the little circle that I'm talking about. So I'm going to apply some of the glue to that. And you have to hold very carefully, and you're just going to push that down at the bottom. Okay, so just hold it tight. And as you're doing that, you can start to begin to bend your petals outwards so that you can kind of make them how loose looking you want. Got a big piece of glue on me. So you can also do that with the tacky glue as well. It just takes a little bit longer to dry. You'll have to be holding it a little bit longer. So this is a fairly small one. I think it was one of the 6-inch ones that I did. If you want to bend the leaves out more, you can get your pliers in there and just push the petals out. Some people just like to have them stuck as they are. I like to bend mine out just a little bit, makes them a little bit more natural looking. So yeah, so that's kind of what that one looks like. So very pretty. So why don't I roll one more for you? So some of them are a little bit harder, like with if they have the shapes. So what I'll do is I will roll this big one. It's got the hearts on the outside. And this one I'm just gonna try rolling with the tweezers. So they're a little bit harder when they have this shape. So again, just make sure that you're rolling and kind of twisting this. So you're gonna have to roll all the Valentine shape into your roll. So this one was one of the 8-inch ones I believe I did. So I am just going to keep rolling and then I'll show you when I finish 3 or 4 of them, okay? So the very last thing we're going to do is to glue the flowers down on the canvas. So you can arrange them however you'd like. And I've already glued a few of mine down. So I just have the little ones at the end still to do. So let's just do those with the hot glue gun. Kind of press them in together, I think, to make it look fuller. Again, you can do that with the tacky glue if you'd like. Okay, so now they're all glued down. I'm just going to flip the canvas over. And I'm just going to take a little piece of twine and just glue it from the back side so that it can hang. So I'll just put this on here. Okay, and there's our finished product. We can hang it on the wall, and I think it looks pretty good.